What the hell?
So the creator of The Beginning After the End finally responded on Reddit to the backlash of the anime adaptation. And of course, the internet being the internet, persons on Reddit responded to his response. So let's check them out. But be warned, some will be very long, some very negative, some decent criticism, but surprisingly, some being heartwarming.
And here we go.
Coming at it with their best effort and intentions, ACAT, referring to the studio behind the adaptation, outsourced both episode 1 and 2 to a Chinese studio. I have the utmost respect for you, TurtleMe, and we understand you can't really speak your mind while you're signed with TAPA, so I pronounce that right, but there is no effort being put in. You're asking us to cherish the anime, but I don't see it getting better. We know the staff working on it and what they are capable of just from looking at their track record. That being said, I would love to be proven wrong and happy that you have acknowledged the voice of your fans. Edit: Episode 3 outsourced as well Studio ACAT are actually useless.
Emotional damage!
Next, we have gotta admit it only takes 20 seconds to realize ACAT was a bad idea. Shouldn't have even considered signing in the first place. We're not asking for perfection, we're asking for effort. Calling this anime a learning experience feels like a generous way to describe a low effort cash grab. Next we have, I don't know, it feels to me that Studio ACAT put no effort into making the anime. When it was first announced that they were making the anime, I was still optimistic despite their poor track record, because I thought they would take this opportunity and use it to turn their studio's reputation around. Who would have thought they would have wasted this opportunity and give a peak story some generic isekai PNG animation?
What?
Well, either way, I find no fault in you and will be cheering you on. Now pay attention to this next stinging comment from this Reddit user. Nothing Burger. In the end, you lied to us about ACAT being a good studio with passion for the project. We already knew.
Damn.
You lied about being able to be involved and have control over the anime.
Damn.
And now you are asking us not to crap on the anime? What anime, brother? It has less frames than the comic. You reap what you sow. At the end of the day, it's your story, your product, and you are entitled to seek monetary gains, but your actions have consequences. You cannot have the best of both worlds.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
I'm sorry, but when you are giving your child the beginning after the end to an anime studio, you want to make sure it's handled by the best and do your research. Crunchyroll even give you a list of studios to choose from. You decided to go for the worst one because they promised to do the best. The anime can't even be called the anime. It's literally a PowerPoint show. Also, do your research before deciding. Everyone knows that they are the worst animation studio, and honestly, The Beginning After the End was their worst production. If you actually cared about The Beginning After the End and its anime adaptation, you'd cancel the contract even if it costs millions so that it gets an actual decent adaptation.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
The Beginning After the End has the potential to be the best isekai in the market, but you decided to give it the worst adaptation it could possibly get, and if you hope people would read the manhwa after seeing this awful anime. Think again. 9 out of 10 people will not read your webtoon because of your poor decision, so don't blame it on not knowing. You only got yourself to blame for being lazy. It's enough we lost Fiyuki, who brought the story to life. So can somebody in the comments explain, probably someone who may know about the manhwa and this individual called Fiyuki, what's the situation that happened with him? Again, let us know in the comments. And you would have noticed that so far we have been considering a lot of stinging, hard-hitting criticism, but let's take a little break from that and go into the positive side of things, of those comments. But before we get into that, if you're enjoying the video, hit the like button. But if you're really enjoying the video, hit the subscribe button. We talk about anime news, manga news, and topics in between that affect the anime manga community. And we are heading towards the goal of 300 subscribers together. So let's get back into the reactions on the more positive side of things. So let's get part of this comment. Once again, just don't lose heart from any of it. We all know just how good TBATE actually is and how good you were able to make it yourself. We all love you, dude. We'll still watch the anime.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
We will still be the biggest supporters of TBATE. We are continuously waiting to read more of TBATE. We'll always support you and we wish for your health to get better and keep on making good stuff like TBATE, even after it ends and the best ending possible. Yeah, this is one thing I will pressure you. Just make this such an ending that you can feel most satisfied with to end TBATE legacy. Interesting grammar. Next, we have Turtle. Thanks for addressing this. As a fan, and as many have said, we're disappointed with the way your story has been animated. We all believe it deserves a lot better, and we just want the best for you and your story. TBATE has changed my life in terms of what I enjoy, and I just wish it got better animation. I'll stick with the current anime for now, but if a season 2 is in the works, please ensure this gets better animation. That's my only hope as a fan of this series and a supporter of the anime. And then we will conclude with this simple one. No one is blaming you, King. The wrong on this adaptation are Crunchyroll, who didn't want to put effort on it, and the studio ACAT. But my take on this whole situation after reading his comments and even checking out his interview with Crunchyroll about the whole process of getting an anime adaptation of his work is that I think he just made a mistake. Is that he just thought that, well, probably this person who is working for Studio ACAT or in charge of the project for Studio ACAT is familiar with his work. They are so-called passionate about this project, and probably he did not do his quote-unquote background check on the anime studio, and hence the reason why it could have been, this is the reason why the anime is a disaster. But again, that is my take on it. We heard other person's take on Reddit on it. What is your take on this response? How do you feel about this whole situation concerning the bad adaptation of the beginning after the end? And popping up on your screen should be a video about a petition to redo the entire anime. So if you want to access that video, guess what? You have to click on the subscribe button. So thanks for watching, and that's it. Go on.